Happy Sunday. All right. Ojo Abameta, Yoruba for Sunday. Sunday is the day of three suggestions, right? So those ideas that you have, take some time to expand them. Take some time to listen. See if you can pull some suggestions from what's going on around you. What we're going to talk about today is checking your connection, checking your connection to your connection. Uh, And when we talk about connection, what we mean is that connection to yourself and that connection to your community. By community, we mean just the people around you in your life. And connection to yourself is, essentially just kind of knowing who you are and what your purpose is, right? And you'd want to have that same outlook for the people around you as well. Who is this person? What is their purpose? What are their intentions for me? What are my intentions for them? What are our intentions as a unit? Right? So what we're going to talk about today is checking those connections. And connection is one of the behavior drivers as well. Behavior drivers is foundational principles that drive behavior. You have what are called holy drivers. Whole, not Holy, Wholly, meaning complete, and then unholy drivers, which would lead to incomplete. Holy drivers are foundational principles that lead to a complete life, right? So for the holy drivers, we have growth, we have community, and we have connection, right? These are the holy drivers, meaning these are foundational principles. If you focus on these things, allow these principles to guide your actions, you will undoubtedly lead a whole life, right? And then you have unholy drivers as well. What we're going to talk about today, though, are the holy drivers, specifically the connection driver, right? And that's checking that connection to yourself and to the people in your unit. Checking your connection to your connection. So you can check your connection to your growth as well. You can check your connection to your community as well. What we're going to do today, though, is checking your connection to your connection, right? So these questions, once again, you want to write them down, write down the answers especially, but writing down the questions would be good exercise as well. And if you are able to write down just these six, it will be cathartic for you, right? It would be very helpful just for you to take that time to think about yourself, think about who you are, remember how important you are, remember how valuable you are, right? So that first question, what are three things that I do well? That could be a tough one for people, right? If you were to walk up to a person on the street and ask them, what are three things you do well, right? Most people probably wouldn't be able to give you one. Not because they don't do things well, but because they may not have the confidence to tell the world that they do this thing well. You understand? So this gives you that opportunity to really kind of hone in on what is it that you do well? What is it that you believe you do well, right? And then once you write it down and see it on that paper, you can't help but think, have I been showing this to the world or have I been keeping this inside? So what are those three things that you do well? Write it down. What are three of my best traits, right? Three things, three traits, three characteristics that you love about yourself, right? What are your three best in your opinion, or favorite, whatever one? Where do I feel most safe, right? Where do I feel strongest? Doing what activity, right? Where am I in my zone, so to speak, right? Where am I? Where is that place for me? Do I have a healthy perspective of my foundational relationships, right? And by foundational relationships, we mean, the folks who raised you. We're talking about your origin story, essentially, right? Whether it's your mother, father, grandmother, aunt, uncle, whoever, those people who initially brought you into the game of life. Do you have a healthy perspective on those relationships? Now, keep in mind that relationships themselves may not be healthy. Life is life, and life is difficult. And people make decisions sometimes that adversely affect others, right? But having that healthy perspective can give you, that energy you still need to continue to move forward. And by perspective, we just mean understanding, having a healthy perspective on what that relationship was. Once again, even if it's an unhealthy relationship, just having that healthy perspective on it. A lot of times, once again, people make decisions that end up adversely affecting others. But I think the most important thing, especially now that I'm a parent, being a kid, you feel like your parents should make all the decisions in your favor. You feel like, no, I felt like my parents they were thinking about me all the time with every decision they made. It's just not true, right? A lot of decisions that you make as a parent have very little to do with your children, and you're not doing it with any kind of malicious intention, So that's the major thing, in my opinion. It's just feeling that your foundational relationships, those folks had no malicious intention for you, right? If they did, then that's something different that'll have to be addressed as well. You still want to get to a healthy perspective, because most important thing is that if they did have malicious intentions, you didn't deserve it, right? That's the most important thing. Even if you got dealt the bad hand, you got into the bag of the bad apples, and maybe they had malicious intention. The most important truth for you to find will be that you didn't deserve it, right? Whatever bad things happen, sometimes things happen. What are 3 reasons I deserve to be happy? That's also a big one, right? At least 3 reasons you deserve to be happy. At least 3 reasons you deserve to be successful, right? You want to get into that frame of mind of valuing yourself and understanding that you deserve the success that's coming to you. You deserve the happiness that's coming to you. If you sit and think about it, for most of us, whatever we feel we deserve is exactly what we're getting. You understand? So for those who feel like they deserve the chaos and the drama at all times, that is likely what they are receiving, right? So we really have to kind of recalibrate and refocus, or just be honest about what is it that you really want, right? If you want to be happy, what are 3 reasons you deserve to be happy? What are 3 reasons you deserve to be successful, right? And that's, once again, getting down to that value of yourself, understanding how brilliant you are just as a human being, right? And then tapping into specifically who you are and how the things in life have helped you to become, the amazing specimen that you are, right? And that's all of us. Once again, what are 3 reasons I deserve to be happy? What are 3 of my best traits? What are 3 things I do well? Where do I feel most safe, right? And having that healthy perspective of those foundational relationships. Even if they were bad people, you didn't deserve it. If they were good people making bad decisions, then they had good intentions, but sometimes things don't work out, right? Have that healthy perspective of life. No one's perfect that I've ever met. I'm not perfect, so that is not the expectation. But the expectation is to improve. The expectation is to grow, right? The expectation is to learn from those mistakes. Once you make them, there's no reason to lie about it and try to, you can do that, I guess, if you want to. Well, I've never really seen that help anybody. But yeah, you make those mistakes. I mean, you learn from them, you improve. That's the point of this whole thing: constant improvement. Every day is school. Every day is school. We march forth as students of life, right? I'll be a student of life forever. I'm always learning something fascinating about life, every day. And learning about life is merely learning about yourself. That's all this is, right? Student of life, so I can learn more about myself. How can I be more useful? How can I be more effective? How can I help more people? Right? That's what all this is. For me, it's just the wind blowing, movies playing, and I'm trying to learn from all of it, from every second of it. So just having that philosophy, having that approach will help us all to become successful and to stay hungry, and understand how important the things that we do are, right? Helping people, how important that is, sparking someone, sparking an idea that could drive them to spark other people, that's critical to life, in my opinion. Uh, Continue to grow, right? March forth, continue to march forward, with that energy. Do not mistake activity for progress, right? Let's make sure we're making progress and not just moving around. Continue to explore the most fascinating aspect of your life. You, right? You are the most fascinating aspect of your life. Continue to explore that, right? You deserve it. They'll never tell you this. They don't want you to know, but I'll tell you because you should know. You deserve it. All right. March 4th. Have a beautiful day. Ojo Abameta. Happy Sunday. The day of 3 suggestions. Let's continue to grow, continue to expand, and continue to enjoy it, obviously. All right. Have a good life, guys.